Hey everyone, it is Amber with Social Speak Network. How many of us struggle with our social media content strategy? I know I do. How many of us pre-plan and pre-write and have that strategy that's already written out for the whole month? How many of us want to get there? Yes, that's the answer. You want to get there if you're not already doing it. And if you're already doing it, you rock. This is something that business owners struggle with a lot because you're so worried about running your business and doing all the million of things you have to do every single day that sometimes that social media kind of falls to the back burner. And okay, I'll post tomorrow, or what do I even talk about? What's that content calendar look like? What are those topics? What is that content? How do I write it? Blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. And then it never gets done. So that when we talk to business owners, a lot of times they go, well, I'll get there soon. And no, we got to get there now. So in this video today, I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about pre-writing your social media post. And this can be one of two ways. You can pre-write your post for a week in advance. So with a lot of our clients, we'd like to have real-time information. So this may be we're writing on each Monday for the following week. So we're always a week ahead, which is a great thing. If you can write further ahead, maybe 2 weeks to a month out at a time. So maybe the first day of each month or the first week of each month, you take 2 hours and you pre-write and pre-create all of your content. That's a huge piece of, peace of mind that you have, and a big piece off your plate that you don't have to worry about because it's already pre-scheduled. Now, when you're pre-scheduling, if you're putting 5 posts up a day onto Instagram, maybe you're only pre-scheduling 3 of them, and that allows you 2 posts or 3 posts per week, depending on how many, if you do Sunday through Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if you do Monday through Friday. So you got to figure out that strategy or that how many days and what days are you posting, but then figuring out, don't schedule all of your posts because you want that room for the, in action, take a picture, take a selfie, whatever that is, as long as you stick to that, okay? And then I want to show you how you can use Canva, and today I'm talking about Tailwind to schedule your post to Instagram. If you're scheduling posts to Facebook, just use Facebook. They don't like third-party applications like Buffer or Hootsuite or Tailwind, even though Tailwind doesn't post to Facebook yet, but I think they're going to in 2019. So use Facebook to schedule your posts through them directly, but you can use Hootsuite, Buffer, or Tailwind to schedule your posts to Pinterest and Instagram. And Instagram's that big one because that takes up a lot of time if you're scheduling every single day through your phone. So I'll stop rambling. Let's share my screen and let's dive into some content creation. Okay, so in here, what I did this morning is I wrote 5 quick social media tips that I wanted to, get out there. And honestly, this took me about maybe 20 minutes. I had Googled a few different topics that, social media marketing tips. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. And then I worded it into my own words. But sometimes it's nice to just Google or look on Pinterest to see what other people are talking about. And then that gives you ideas to be able to create your own social media content. So the first post I did was setting goals. And I came into Canva and I created the Instagram post because I'm just focusing on Instagram today. So in here, I created my image. Now there's one cool new feature that Canva has that I love, but it doesn't upload to Tailwind for Instagram, so you'd have to save it and then upload it to Instagram directly from your phone. But they have this cool new, when you come to download and you come to animated, and then you can preview the animation, you can save it as a movie or as a GIF. But this is really fun because this just, see how cool that is? It just adds a little flair to your post. So if you are going to use this, you can download it as a GIF, and then what I would do is then I would just email that image to myself and then upload it to Instagram directly from my phone. There's a couple more steps in there. I know it sounds a little complicated, but it's not. So today I'm just gonna do static posts, and I will show you how we schedule those. So I wanna create a social media template board. So when I do my next round of social media posts, I just have to come in here and change out the images, but I'm going to keep the same theme, so to speak, because I want to create that, keep that brand going. So what I'm going to do for tip number 2 is I'm going to come here and I'm just going to click add new page. Now this top one was this template here. And so now I want to find, so my tip number 2 is active listening and listening to your target, learning about your target audience. So I may want to click, I like this one. And then 2 ways to find your images, well, 3 technically. The first one, you can just search in Canva. So I may just click clients. And then I may want to click here for free only. And then the other way is I could come to, I like Pixabay. And I can type clients into here and download any free image that's in here. All of Pixabay's images that show up down here are free images. And then the third way, this is my favorite, is uploading your own images. So this is changing your mindset and always taking pictures of your clients or just your surroundings, things that you're doing, because then the more images you have, you can use those as background for your own content. And blog images too. So I'm going to come back to Canva and see what images I like. And I feel like this is the piece that takes the longest because I'm really picky on the images that I want. So it may take me a little bit to find like that right image. So I may use, let's just use this one for, see how that's a vertical image and that's not going to work very well on the template I picked. So that's also something just to, remember. So let's just, for the sake of time, let's just use this one. And, or maybe let's type in customers. Sometimes you got to get creative with your word search. So let's see. Okay, let's just do one like this. So, oh, those are doctors. I am not a doctor. See, this is, I told you, this is, so one thing that I sometimes do is when I am watching TV at night, a couple days, especially during, football season, I'm watching the game, but I'm also on my phone looking at Pixabay and Pexels and looking just for free images that I like, that I can start just saving. And so I can then, use them, and it saves you time. Let's just do, yeah, I always say, oh, let's just do this one for the sake of time, but I really want an image that I like. Okay, so let's say I really like this image, but it is vertical and it clearly does not work here. What you can do is you can double click on it. Oops. Let's delete that one. Let's do, you can move it down so it's centered correctly. Let's do this one. So let's use this picture. I want to change these colors to my branded colors. So I may do this here. And then this, I may do that. Okay. And then here I may say this, oops. I'm going to change this to just say tip number 2. Tip number 2, and I want to make sure that this is in my font, which it is, and then I may change this though to one of my other branded colors, okay? Then down here, I'm going to change this text out here, and I'm gonna have it just be the learn about your target market active listening. And this, I wanna do two things with this. I wanna change this, let's take out the rest of this content down here that we don't need. But I wanna change this to a branded color. If I can get my fingers to work today. And I also wanna change this to our second font that we use. Now that made that text a lot smaller. So let's make it bigger, maybe a little bit more, and let's move it up. Okay, last thing I wanna do is just add our logo to here. And we are gonna just put this here. Okay, so I know that took a little bit longer than I'd like, but this gives me a second branded image to use. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click save, and then I'm gonna click download. Now when you click download, when you're creating a board, meaning more than just one image in here, it's gonna download as a zip file if you download all of them at one time. What I usually do is I just download the image I need. So I'm just gonna put number 2, and then this is gonna be, I'm gonna label this tip number 2. Now, what I'm gonna do next is once this image is downloaded, I'm gonna head over to tip number 2. I'm gonna head over to my Google Doc that I created. I'm going to copy the content I created for that post. I'm gonna come to Tailwind. I'm gonna upload my image. And pre-writing your content saves you a lot of time. Even if that was just one step you did, is you pre-wrote all your content for, you know, the whole month, then maybe it wouldn't be so hard if you did create images in real time. Maybe you want to take your images or whatever it is. It gives you a little bit more flexibility because you have that content down. But I do think that having your having everything done makes it so much easier. So I want to do my little dots. Now, one thing that it's gonna do is, the one thing I like about using Tailwind is it gives you hashtags. Now these are just numbers because I have this here. So you don't want to use tip hashtag 1 because that doesn't make sense, but tip 2. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give you so small business marketing. The ones in green are good, and it will tell you like social speak. Obviously, that's our niche. So the gray is your niche. The light green is good. The dark green is best, and the orange is competitive, meaning it has millions of people using that hashtag. So really, it's not going to do you any good. So then what I want to do with this one is I'm going to, here where it says auto post, I'm going to change this. Oh wait, this is auto post, meaning it's going to automatically go to your Instagram account. But I'm going to schedule this for, so I'm going to click this little down here, set custom time. I want this to go out tomorrow at 9, let's do 9:15 a.m. And so then I can click schedule. So you can schedule all of your posts to go out on Instagram through Tailwind. The other really cool thing about Tailwind that I'm going to show you real quick for Instagram is, let's just say you have products on your website, or you have, you know, blogs that you've written that you haven't put onto Instagram yet. You can come into here And if you install the Tailwind Chrome extension, you can, let's click onto this interview. I'm just going to show you this. You can bulk upload to Tailwind. And what this allows you to do, see how it says schedule? This allows you to go through the websites that you like, your own images that you're not creating in Canva, and you can come straight to here and you can, this is going to go to your Instagram account. You can change the description here, the hashtags, and click add to queue, or you can click save for later. So there's a lot that you can do with Tailwind using Canva and just having that plan. So like I just did, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to do the rest of my tips and schedule them to go out for the week. This, then I know something's going out every day and I don't have to worry about it. If you have questions or you need help putting your own digital marketing strategy together and helping you figure out what that content is, we are here to help you. And feel free to reach out to us to schedule a free 15-minute phone call to see how we may help you with your content marketing. Have a great day, guys.